Hello and welcome to We Three Queers.
A podcast where we talk about all things queer.
So let's get going.
Yeah.
We three queers of London are fabulous and feeling ourselves so far. Talking about all things queer and fitting with the theme. And that's enough of that. I'll stop singing now. Did we actually just do it in one take?
We did.
That's a miracle.
So good.
That was brilliant. Well done, queers. That's it. End of the podcast. No more. Do you have a warm-up question, or should we do the same one that we did in the previous record? So basically, for everyone listening or watching, we recorded a whole episode on dating, and now we're going to have to re-record it because it was awful. Because I had no microphone and Carrot had no internet, essentially.
Yes. The episode was good, but the technology was awful.
Awful.
Now we have to recreate one that's just as good. Fingers crossed.
Cyro was amazing, as always, but it was the white ones that were awful. Oh God! Right. So, do you have a question, or should we use the one that was last time?
Let's use the one.
Oh.
Cyro's got one.
Cyro.
Silence me. Silence me.
No.
A question was going to be, because it's over, it's not Valentine's anymore. How was everyone's Valentine's Day?
Next. Well, just Carrot, you've got a boyfriend, so how was yours?
Well, yeah, I do, but I mean, as I've probably mentioned many times, I don't give half a toss about Valentine's Day, and it's around his birthday and our anniversary-ish time where we got together. We don't really have a set date for that either, to be honest, but we usually do something to celebrate around this time anyway, so I did something for his birthday. But he was on Valentine's Day itself. I mean, to be honest with you, the queers were fucking going for it this year. I don't know about your like timelines and like feeds and stuff, but on mine, every other post was a fucking couple, and I'm in a relationship, and I was finding it annoying. But maybe that's partly because Reese was away being a movie star and filming some more horror films that are coming out soon. Well, not soon, this year. So I was alone in the flat and had been for about 6 days. So I was probably feeling particularly bitter, to be honest.
Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world.
Yeah, I'm like, honestly though, it's been a taster. Like, I can't imagine people living alone. What it's been like for a year now.
Thanks, Carrot. Thanks.
Yeah, but you don't live alone. You don't live alone.
Well, we live with our families, but it's not the same as a romantic partner, or is it?
I know.
I haven't been touched in nearly a year, Carrot.
It's been a year and a half.
I think it's scabbed over. Honestly, I don't think it works anymore. Like...
It's a mound.
Oh God.
One nice thing I got about Valentine's Day was like the self-care, and I know we talk about self-care all the time, but I ordered. So I really wanted to try some Japanese Kitkats, and I brought food
like
is
green tea.
Yeah, so I got green tea Kitkats.
That's so good.
Strawberry Kitkats, sake, choco pan, which is like a really thick Japanese bread, and then I ordered some American treats, and then I ordered a bag of pick a mix, and I had a meal with my mum. But the food
God, so
Valentine's
cute.
Day was really good. Like,
Just
I really enjoyed
all
that.
the sweets.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know that Kit Kat are doing a vegan Kit Kat now?
Ooh.
Ooh, I didn't know it was vegan.
It's milk chocolate, isn't it? But yeah, I've been missing my old Kit Kats. Green tea, I had them when I lived in China. Oh, they're so good. The green tea ones.
Yeah, they were so weird but good.
Mm-mm.
In Japan, they've got ones you can heat up, and I'm just fascinated. I want all of the Kit Kats.
Well, 21st of June, let's go to Japan.
Do it.
Fuck it.
Oh,
Sorted.
With all my spare money.
All that money. Valentine's Day for me was just a normal. Was it a Sunday? It was a Sunday. I actually really enjoy Sundays. I don't know what it is, but it's just it's just lovely, and the weather's always really nice. So I did nothing. Me and my hand had a lovely time together. Yes. But yeah, it was just a normal day.
That sounds delightful.
Delightful. We're talking of Valentine's Day. Obviously it's finished. I can't even speak today. What's wrong? Finish.
Finished.
It's finish. It's finish.
Finland.
So next year, 2022, me and Cyro are going to have multiple partners and multiple Valentine. We're putting it out there into the universe because we're going to go on some dates. So basically this episode is about dating and our experiences as living in the queer world, living in the straight world, every world. So Cyro, why don't you start, because you have a lot of experience dating in the cis straight world and not so much in the queer world. So yeah, tell us about that experience.
Just call me out, Flick. Call me fuck out.
I will. I did.
Yeah. So, on a podcast. Yeah, dating in the. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I can't remember what. I don't think my experience with a lot of AFAB people is that much different. I think that's kind of common. What I've seemed to notice watching my queer TikToks. Hashtag fucking millennial. And yeah, it's looking back, the effort and like the scrounging to like kind of makes this romantic heteronormative date or thing with a person that's not really interested, with an average like straight white boy. It's a very sad like set of events. Looking back, I'm like, oh my, like a friend posted who is mixed race as well, like the years of being 15 and straightening your hair and putting on like the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse to be ignored by an average looking white boy.
Oh, God.
Like, it's so completely starkly different to how I am now. But I think it was more about like what the world thought of you. You know, like being desired or in a relationship or dating, it gave you a status. It was kind of about yeah, holding that space of like, oh, I'm with someone, or and it allowed you to fit in, being a couple. But yeah, we talked about this before. I'm trying to remember what I said. I was not happy in any of the relationships I've been in. I don't think I've had a because I wasn't invested. I guess I wasn't being my true authentic self. I wasn't living as a queer person, as a non-binary trans person, and those things would prop up, and they prop up in different ways. So one of them would be like I'd always end up in an open relationship or a poly relationship with a person, and I think a lot of people thought it was the guy that I was with was suggesting that, but it was me. And there was like lots of messiness and drama, and I think internally I was having a fight that I wasn't listened to at all. So yeah, dating in a cis heteronormative world is, no offense to anyone, but boring, and sex was shit, and it was just like you just felt like I was just going through the motions. Yeah,
just had to do it, sort of thing.
yeah, like when I started having sex with queer people, I was furious because I was like, "This is what it's meant to be like." What the whole time? The whole time.
How is your experience with dating in the queer world and with queer people then? How's that been, especially during lockdown?
Oh God, I hope you wouldn't ask that question. I've been ghosted a few times. Well, more than a few times. I've been ghosted.
Yeah.
But actually, it's been like I've crept into similar habits that you know about with people.
Mm-hmm.
Not being emotionally available, or being like just.
Cyro's basically just replaced the like problematic like cis white gay man with like an equally problematic or troubled queer person. The characteristics are the same, but like the sexuality and gender is not.
I've had some really amazing dates. Like, I won't name names, but I won't name names.
No.
But, like, Zoom is Zoom. Like, it doesn't feel the same. But they've had some really lovely dates on that. Before we went into lockdown, I've been on a date with a couple of people. Who kisses who first is never gonna get old. Like, it's always gonna be like, I don't know what to do. And I don't know if that's an AFAB thing or a queer thing in general. But the nerves, it feels like you're a teenager again.
Oh, I like those nerves though. I like that.
Where were we?
What was you saying, Leah? Sorry, Cyro.
Straight dating's really boring.
Yeah.
Straight dating is really boring.
That's the end.
That's the tweet.
Really boring.
I mean, I've never really done proper straight dating. Gay, but I was going to say, straight dating is very boring. Gay men are liars. They're vile. They're vile. I hate you all. Let me move this so you can hear me. I hate gay men. No, I mean, I enjoy them, but when it comes to dating, gay men don't want to date. Like, and I know that that's like a generalization, but it's 98% true of most gay men. They're like, I get it. You just want to have a shag. That's fine. I mean, sometimes that's all I want to do. But people are like, oh, look in long-term relationships and all of that. And it's like, well, and then you match on these dating apps. I'm talking dating apps. And then you just don't speak. And I get it because like you probably matched with loads of other people as well. But it's like, if you actually wanted to like find a relationship, you would respond to somebody, especially like, or go and have a drink with them or whatever. And this is not just me, like it's not just because it's like I get ignored, which I do, but it happens to like, I've spoken to lots of friends about it, and they've all had similar experiences. And it's just like, well, if you are actually looking for a relationship and you're on these apps, not Grindr because that is just for sex, but like all of the other apps, and you match somebody, just bloody speak to them. Like, there's like, oh, I, because I'm quite bad. Sometimes I will respond like straight away, and I'll be like, yeah, and then I'll go like a week of not checking the apps whatsoever. But yeah, gay men are liars. So I've not done much dating really, especially because I was living in Lanzarote before lockdown.
Yeah.
Because it was loads of people just come for holidays. You couldn't date. So I did a lot of grindering, but not so much Tindering, because which wasn't really. But then I come back and I was like, okay, well, there's no one around here in the countryside apart from old Tories, so I don't want to match with them. So yeah, dating. Somebody date me, please. But my experience, I don't really have any experience of like when I was living in London, I went on a few dates. But I just don't know how to like do it really, because like when I first moved to London, I was going out clubbing and like meeting people that way, and you don't necessarily meet someone you can meet somebody in a club and then like get to know them and then go for it. But the way that I was going to clubs, I wouldn't meet anybody and then date them afterwards and just have sex or just a kiss and then that was it. There was one guy when I was at work that left. I was a waiter, and he left his number, which was so funny. So I did go on a date, but then we ended up just getting really ridiculously drunk, and like, and then I was like, oh, what am I doing? Like, this is not what like I meant to be doing on a date. So, my friend came and saved me, and we left. But yeah, don't have much experience of dating. I enjoy it though. I don't like. Well, I do enjoy it, but I don't like eating in front of people. So I don't like going on food dates. If I go like just on drink dates, then I might get a bit too drunk and end up snogging your face off. So I'm a real good catch actually. And I hate internet dating. because I just find it really boring. I would much rather physically meet a person than like talking constantly through text, and all the small talk and everything is really, really crap. And also one-sided conversations where you're just asking all the questions. And so basically this is just a podcast for me to rant about like why I hate dating.
Well, it's there's an interesting conversation here. A question I have for you and you both. When you're saying dating here, I think you're referring to something quite specific, which is like romantically looking for a relationship, right? And so you're suggesting that a lot of gay and queer people out there, which is definitely the truth, don't date for romance. They date for a shag. Is that the case? And when you date, you're dating almost purely for romance.
It's very different with who I'm like
Mm.
dating cis straight men. Complete like, I think we all know what that is because we see it all the time. Like the jokes about like, and I see it on my feeds. Like I feel really sorry for every woman that's in a relationship with a man and they're just like doing loads of work and being like, oh, isn't he great? Like he took out the bins. I'm like, the bar is so fucking low.
Mm.
Rate is so low that any little thing they do is like amazing. And I'm like, it's not. It's just not. It's not acceptable. But then dating like women, for instance, I have tended to, and I don't know if because I'm being approached or I'm attracting or I'm attracted to these type of situations, but they're either still in love with their ex, have like other partners, and like they're just not, I think, available. And there's it already starts with an element of, oh well, you've got other partners, and like maybe this is quite new being poly, or there's just always something. So but I think it's probably me going like attracted to the drama. I'm like, that's what I like. I think about dates in like, I've had a date, actually one of my best dates I ever had was with a friend. I'm not saying who it was. But we went for, I hope they don't listen to this. We went for dumplings, which I like love. Like anything with food, I'm like, yes. For dumplings and then to the pub or something, and it was like, and then we had a walk. But I was just laughing the whole time and having like just the best time. I did have a little bit of a crush on him, which added to it probably. But it was just, it's just nice to laugh and eat and be kind of relaxed. I think that's what makes a really good date. And when you're dating someone you don't know that's new, you feel like you have to give them your resume. So you're not dating a person, you're dating their representative. Like for the first maybe 5 dates, probably more.
You're somebody else, and then they don't actually know the real you, but like it's because you want to present the like best version of yourself, which necessarily is part of you, but not like the whole of you. Yeah, I understand that.
So, Cyro, are you polyamorous?
Do you know what? I don't know how to. You've caught me out. You've caught me out. I don't know how to describe that because I've been in polyamorous relationships and I've been in that world, but I think at a point where I'm like, I don't even think I'm not sure if I can trust myself. Sorry, my dog's barking. To date in general, like I think I probably need to do a lot of work to find dating really easy breezy and feel free to be like, that's not working, bye, and say no and not drag things out. But yeah, I've been in relationships where it's been poly, and and a lot of them have started with being monogamous, and I've to go on to
progress it to that. So that's interesting. How you're not going out and seeking polyamory.
No, I'm kind of open to it.
You're just
open.
Yeah, because I don't know what. If I'm honest, I don't know what's probably good for me or what's
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna be open to it all.
I think that
good.
That's a good way to be.
I think that changes as well with different people, like depending on like the situation of where you are with yourself, who the other person is, and how that relationship develops. Like, just to go back onto Carrot's point quickly, which is, I think, like we spoke about it in the previous podcast that got deleted about like no one teaches you how to be gay. So like when I say like, oh, lots of like, and I'm talking predominantly about gay men because that's my experience of dating. All they want to do is shag, but I think like that's right, because we have to like kind of unlearn some stuff that from the heteronormativity like that we've learned and been like forced upon us, the social like norms as such. We have to unlearn that and then like figure out how to date in that like queer world, which we try and like stick to a like heteronormative sort of way of dating, but then it's like and like a monogamous way of like dating, and then it's like, well, does that actually work? Like, what is the right queer? And obviously there is no right queer way, it just happens. But also you have missed out on, well, me and Cyro have spoken about it, that we missed out on all of this opportunity when we were growing up of queer experiences and lust and sex and love, because we were trying to fit into that norm. So I think a lot of queer people can relate to that, so that when they do fully like move to somewhere like London or like accept who they are, that they want to have those experiences, and it's not necessarily I want to jump straight into a relationship. So I mean, I joke and say that, but like gay men are liars, but like I understand, because also I want to have fun and I want to explore. So yeah, and a lot of my like sort of, I suppose, normal, when using like air quotation, dates are with friends, really, rather as opposed to with like, I love meeting new people and I do enjoy the whole like butterflies and nervousness of being on a date and everything, but also I do find like I'm not a serial dater. I couldn't do that, like, because it would just get too, like Cyrus saying, monotonous of like, here's my CV, this is who I am. I think I'm quite also a little bit like abrupt for some people. Like they see me as like just the funny, like loud one, ha ha ha, like, oh, they'll be a good friend. And I'm like, no, date me. But also because I'm like, okay, this is me, this is like what you're gonna get, and like take it or leave it. Just because I can't be bothered, I just want to skip all of that like crap and just go straight to it and be like, right, this is what you're getting, like, yes or no. And but like other people don't necessarily enjoy that. But I'm open to like Cyro, anybody and anything like relationship wise. I've never been in a relationship other than a monogamous one, so I think it would be quite interesting. But I know that that's something, Carrot, that you're experiencing at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting that you say that about how a lot of queer people don't get to have that experience when they're growing up of the shagging around, or the or certainly of our generation. I think less so now, actually. But of our generation, we missed out on that. I had girlfriends up until the age of like 17 in college, which is laughable. But it's true, I did. And I was and you know, that doesn't mean I'm not open to like whatever girlfriends now, but it seems laughable because it was in a very heteronormative way. But it's it's a so what was I saying? Yeah, so I had that experience all the way through growing up, and I never really had many queer people around me. I had some queer friends, but nobody ever showed any physical attraction to me, really. When I was growing up, even not until I moved to London when I was 18 did I really feel like anyone actually was sexually attracted to me. Um, and when I moved to London, I went straight into a pretty toxic long-term relationship that was like long distance with someone, and lasted for a long time, and we were on and off, and I had like, there was the odd break where we'd have like broken up for a while, and I maybe saw someone like or something. So didn't really get that experience of like having the fun and the hookups and whatever then either. Not really in my first years of like being 18 to 21 in uni. And then that relationship ended because it had to, in a very messy, crazy way. And then I ended up going pretty much straight into a monogamous long-term relationship with Reese, which I'm still in now, like 5 years later. So I still haven't had that hookup experience, and neither has he, for other reasons. So because he wasn't out until we actually got together, so he never got to experience that either. So there's that whole feeling of like a missed youth, a lost youth, a lost teenager, the poor like child in you, or not child, but like the teenager in you that didn't get to experience like feeling, you know, having that fun at the house party and whatever. Like I never got to do any of that. So Reese and I have started to talk recently about like potentially experimenting with non-monogamy. And as we've opened up about it, we've started to discover a lot about ourselves. And for me, especially around jealousy and how that feeds into monogamy and how jealousy relates to insecurity. And by highlighting that jealousy, like by talking about this, it's highlighted the jealousy. By highlighting the jealousy, it's made me realize quite how bad my insecurities are and were. And I actually started therapy because of it, partly because of it, because I wanted to start, like, I wanted to work on that because I realized, you know, that feeds into everything and it's making me dependent on the relationship, and which goes a bit too far the other way, you know. So it's something that we're working on long term, but I think in order for non-monogamy, like consensual non-monogamy, let alone um, polyamory, I think you have to be very secure and sure of yourself first. And I think actually, in even though I'm not an expert on dating by any means, going into the dating world in general, I think that that's a fairly good rule to have. Is like before you're willing to before you start opening yourself up to other people or trying to find comfort in other people to heal your whatever, to sort something in you, to fix that jealousy, to fill that hole that you missed from your childhood, you actually have to do it yourself. You have to be comfortable with yourself and secure in yourself first, before you do any of that stuff. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, so we're exploring that, and that's where we're at with it. And obviously, the pandemic means that we wouldn't be able to meet anyone at any point anyway. It'll be in a situation where that can happen, but you know that it's also good in some ways, and I think it's good for a lot of single people too, to be honest, because it's, even though it's lonely, it's like it's a time to really like think about and reflect on yourself and realize who you are and what you want.
I think that is important, like knowing well, I think what the most important thing is that not looking for whatever's missing or like you need to like develop or work on within yourself in somebody else, because I
Yeah,
think that you constantly need to like develop. I think we all do, we constantly develop and like learn and grow as a person, and you can do that alongside another person or persons, but
yeah.
that shouldn't be your like sole focus. So it's
Mm-mm.
like that. I don't agree with the like you can't, until you love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else bullshit,
Oh,
because it's like, well, you don't need to
don't get me started on
like
that.
be in love with yourself to like be worthy of love. You're worthy of love at any point in your life, but that person or persons isn't gonna like fill a void or something that's missing. And I think that's the important thing to
Mm,
like to focus on. So well done for like developing like that within
um,
yourself, sort of thing.
yeah, I think it's not even about loving yourself. You don't need to be in love with every part of yourself. It's just about knowing yourself
Mm,
Yeah.
and knowing how your past experiences have informed who you are now, and knowing that certain things make you uncomfortable and that's not a good thing, or sometimes it is a good thing or whatever, but just knowing that that's the case and why that's the case, and knowing how to deal with it and develop it or change it or intervene mentally with those negative thoughts or feelings or insecurities. Yeah, that was very vague without going too deep into my own problems. But that, I think that's a good place to start. Like, if I was to go back and tell myself, like, dating these boys, like throwing myself heart and soul into the first guy that shows me any bit of attention physically, because like I've never experienced that before. I would love to be able to go back and tell me then, like, you don't need to do that.
hmm
And like this person's um attraction to you does not define how attractive you are.
That's it.
Other people's attraction to you does not define how attractive you are. Or yeah, it's about how you feel.
Yeah, and you're all bloody snacks. So just know that and own that.
Yeah.
Relationships are all about, we spoke about it in like friendships and family and things like that, like, and that's the same for love. It should, these people should be here to like like help you make yourself a better person, in the sense of like of supporting you in
Yeah.
being the best version of yourself. And but at the same time, you're also the best version of yourself without that person. Like, they should be there to cheer you on. That's it. To be your
Furthermore,
little cheerleader, like, woo, you're amazing, and be like, bitch, I already know.
yeah, they're an added extra. Like, you're the subscription, but they're just an added
I
extra.
like that. Yeah.
Description. Yeah. I.
Um,
It's hard to talk about these things without it being personal. I'm like, I don't know how I can kind of be vague, and I'm happy to like talk about it personally, but I just really resonate with everything you're both saying. Like, now is the first time in my entire life I've been like, I'm fine with being single. Like, it's not bothering me. It's not like the greatest thing in the world. It's just like not a thing, and it's never not been a thing. Like, whereas before I was like scrap. I always had to have something going on with someone, and it was always, I call it drama, but I think it was neglect. I was looking for people that actively neglected me or
yeah,
made me feel like I was longing for their attention or like needing that affection back. That idea of like someone finding you attractive and then you throw yourselves like that. I did that with everyone.
yeah, yeah.
And also like the polyamorous and open relationships. I was very I got, even though I was the one that wanted that, I would get very jealous, and it wasn't because I was jealous about that person. It was very strange. It was very much linked to my insecurities and my trauma, and
Mhm.
really nothing to do with romantic relationships. But
Yeah,
this is what I'd seen in my household, or like with my mum or whatever, and that's what I'd established as a relationship. I was like, that's what a relationship is, which it
yeah,
wasn't. It's an unhealthy one, and now I just feel kind of open to anything because I'm not expecting or longing for anything. I don't need it.
You're not searching for something. It's just like, I'm open to it. Yeah, because I used to do that. I used to think that, oh, if I date somebody and I find somebody to be my partner, then that means that I won't be like lonely. And that was an insecurity that I had on like myself, which is like, oh, I'm lonely. And it's actually like being comfortable with being by myself, which obviously I've had to during lockdown, especially, has really helped to then be like, oh, actually, I don't need somebody. I have like this great support system around me anyway. So like, why was I looking for it in some random stranger when I've got them already like there?
Yeah, and you can be
yeah,
extremely lonely in a relationship.
Mm.
Most
Mm-hmm.
loneliest times of my life have been in a relationship. Like
yeah,
completely weird.
yeah. When we've had our, like, Reese and I have had low points in our relationship, as I think it's very normal to have, and I have felt lonely at times a lot because in a relationship you feel a pressure a lot of the time to spend as much free time as possible, especially if you're a queer artist with a day job, you know, trying to navigate all these different things all the time. You feel like any free time you have to spend with this person. So then to realize that actually you don't have to do that, or or if one of you realizes that before the other one does, the other one gets a bit lonely, for example. Like, it's like you need to have other friendships, connections, relationships, people in your life. You can't, it's not fair to be reliant solely on one person. So it's like really important to cultivate lots of relationships in your life.
Sprinkle lots of little seeds around, and then see all of these wonderful relationships, friendships grow.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only thing I will say is I want to ask you this, Syra, as well. We're open to anything dating wise, but what about long distance? Because I'm not doing that ever again. I did it once. It was fucking awful. It ended the relationship. So no, thank you. Not happening again.
Yeah, a big part of the toxic relationship I was in from uni,
Of
he was
course.
from New York. So he went back there after his year, and he came to visit like for a couple of weeks here and there, and because he was very rich, so he could just buy fucking plane tickets whenever. I think that's
Ooh.
partly why I like being with
Yeah, I
him.
was going to say, I like the sound of that, actually.
Yeah.
A boyfriend that's never there but has lots of money. Sugar daddy?
Yeah. But he was also very stingy, to be fair, but
Oh.
as
Oh, I
most rich
hate
people
that.
are. But he would come and visit anyway, quite often, like every other month or so. Um, so, but there was always like, and sometimes we would FaceTime a lot and Zoom a lot, but there was times where we would break up, or there would be like we'd have. It's weird because there's a pressure to text all the time, and it's just horrible. It's horrible because also like you don't know what that person's doing at all, like the reality of it. And I mean, it's like no wonder I have fucking trust issues.
Well, this,
Uh,
and you're trying to live your life at the same time with time differences, that pressure of having to message, and then also like live your own life. But then, what the fuck are they doing? Like, there's some soaring going on outside. So sorry if you can hear like background noise. Yeah, and when I say long distance, I mean like New York, London,
See, that's the one
London,
You're talking about
China.
York. York is down the road.
No, I mean, yeah, well, no, I mean, if it's York, it's like I can get a train. That's fine. If you want to date me and you live in York, then that's fine. But if you live in China, no, thank you. Or like New York, no, thank you.
yeah,
Colin was
no.
in America.
Exactly.
And had no visa to come back. I don't know why I stayed in that relationship. Like, you're talking, and I'm like, oh my god, I have no idea of a healthy like my relationships have all been fucking bad. Colin, you're a lovely person, but we both know we're each other's beards. Like that's
Oh,
and actually that was
oh.
probably the nicest relationship. I was really happy being like each other's beards, and that was kind of the sweetest thing. But he was awkward and.
Would you do a long distance relationship, Cyro?
This is really difficult because in the lesbian community, like that's like the U-Haul, the like traveling 7 hours is a norm, and I don't know why that is. I think maybe because there's less of us, or like I don't want to, but I like traveling.
Yeah, but I mean, like someone in America, that's 7 hours, and that's like Newcastle, and then there's 7 hours like flight.
Yeah,
Like there's a
like
difference.
£600.
I know I want to say no, and I'm gonna say no, but I think you know that there's gonna be a situation where I get into this again, and you're gonna be like, Cyro,
I'm gonna be like, Cyro, give me your bank card. You're not spending any money on flights at all.
Yeah. I'll say no because it's the healthy thing to do.
Just say no, kids. Just say no.
I know.
The long distance relationship. Do you know what's interesting though? Something to note is in the fields that we are all in, in arts or film or theatre, there are always going to be moments where the relationship has to go long distance. So whoever you guys end up getting in a relationship with is probably going to have to accept at some point that you're going to go off touring, or you're going to be doing a show in another city, or doing a film somewhere for a few weeks, or and it's actually, so we're saying like, oh no, we don't do long distance relationships, but actually if we are successful in the fields that we want to be successful in, we will probably be forced to. Although if we're successful enough that they can come along and like
I was going to say that, yeah, they could be your like little assistant, but actually not, but just come along, be there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be the dream, wouldn't it? But
I mean, yeah, well, like, I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? But I think obviously that's a job, so like everyone's jobs like change and everything. So if you get into a relationship and then like you have to, and that's also only for like 3 months,
yeah,
or like 3 weeks, and then you come back, like that's it. It's not like Colin and Colin moving back to America and never having like a visa to be able to return.
Yeah.
Like no return.
No plan to ever come back.
Ever. That's a bit different. Like
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Okay.
just say no.
Yeah,
so
I think
so
you're
he's
right.
gone to another country, to America. Yeah. So he's coming back. No.
What's your top dating
tip.
tip? Something, yeah.
So I think we've all established that we're pretty useless at dating. But like, you know what? It's our podcast, so let's give everyone a tip.
Yeah,
on how
why
to be
not?
as successful as us. Carrot, you start.
Okay, yes, because I've got so much experience dating. So my top tip would be no, I think I've already given it actually, thinking about it. It's not be yourself, it's know yourself. Don't be yourself, know yourself before you try and bring in someone else.
Yeah.
That's it.
Love that.
Concise.
Mine is don't waste people's time. So it basically just means don't waste my time. No, don't waste people's. So just be upfront and honest. Like don't have fucking weird pictures of yourself with weird filters. Like I want to see what you look like. I want to know like what your what's your dating history. I don't want to know all that information. Just look like yourself. Be honest about what you want and who you are, because like life's too short. Let's just have some fun, and if you want fun, then that's fine, but just be honest. Don't waste time.
Very good.
And then from the most successful dater of the three of us,
well, the most prolific.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take this tip as well. My tip.
Just say no.
My tip is when dating someone, if you see a red flag, run, because people usually show themselves the first time. Don't give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't give a shit about any of that bullshit. Like, if someone's shown you something about themselves that is either unsafe or to you, or makes you feel uncomfortable, or anything uneasy, go. Leave it. There's no point in waiting for that person. It's to essentially change or to prove you wrong. That's not a good, healthy place to be.
That's really good advice.
That is good. Life's too short. Don't waste it on trying to fix other people. Yeah. There's enough work to be done on yourself than there is to like other people. I want to change mine actually.
Oh, go on then. I
want to change it to be open. No, I don't really like that. Hey. I mean, be that as well if you want. Like, that's good. No, but be open in a sense of this Disney Hollywood bullshit of there's a spark the first time we met. It might exist in like, but it doesn't. Like, just be open to whatever is there and see. Don't just not everything is instant. Not everything is Google. Be open. Know yourself, be open, and red flags, run.
Yeah.
Stunning. Well,
And just say no.
and just say no. Just say no, Cyro. Well, talking of dating, you know what? Let's get thirsty. Snack time.
Snack time. Snack time. Snack time. Snack time.
My snackety snack, is a person called Barry. Not Barry Scott, Barry Brandon. But here, his Instagram handle is the Queer Indigo. So TheQueerindigo. The Queer Indigo. He is an open heart surgery survivor, and queer, and just the most enjoyable Instagram that I've ever experienced. They live I'm not sure where they live, like somewhere in America, Los Angeles maybe, I don't know. But they do these like walking videos, and they are like with all of their queer friends, and like it's like a queer army. They're just like strutting down to like music, and they're doing all of these like Vogue movements and everything, and it's just I love it. It's just amazing. Their fashion is just fabulous as well. All of their friends, like they before Corona were going around like the whole of America, meeting different like queer groups and like doing little walk videos together. And I just think it's wonderful, like just something as simple as like walking, strutting, which we all do, because we all walk so fast as queer people, is and like bringing people together. And yeah, it will just make you smile if nothing else. It's really cute. So, and they're a lovely human, so go and follow them.
Followed.
Yeah, me too. Fabulous.
Cute.
Mine's
next?
I'll go next.
Go on.
Oh god, Kari's going. So my snack of the week is personal snack, actually.
Have you dated them? Okay.
I haven't dated. No, I haven't dated them. It's Lacey Lou.
I mean, if you wanted to date them, then I would be fully on board.
Oh my god, they're
gorgeous.
Unfortunately, but they are an incredible. She's an incredible drag queen. She's host of the Nightingale Club, owner of Glitter Shit. She's Princess and Fantabulosa. She hosts Queer Waves on Bram Radio, which is fantastic. Usually on 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. Recently, apart from outside being a drag queen, she works in a residential home and is bringing LGBTQIA plus History Month to care homes.
Amazing.
And you're like, you be a better person. I think her Insta is at Lacey McFadden. I don't need to do at, do I?
No, you don't.
Showing your age there. The Facebook.
So it's LACEYMCFADYEN. I mean, her looks are just and the bod and everything, the face, all of it, cute. But the work she does in the community, and she also got the description of what a drag queen was changed in the English dictionary.
Yes.
They did. I think they did it on ITV, a little segment on that. But she worked for a long time to get the definition changed to include all genders, and not just cis men dressed in drag. So she's an icon, a legend, and the sweetest person, the nicest. Yeah, lots of love for Lacey.
Yeah,
Amazing.
That's a good snack. That was a good snack. Well done.
Gorgeous.
Well, no pressure, Carrot, but your snack's got to beat that.
Beat it? I don't know about that. Okay. Well, my snack is just as good. Because it's not a competition.
It is, in my mind, everything's a competition.
So this week I'm doing Crayola.
Oh,
Crayola the Queen, the gorgeous snack themselves. Now, I'm doing them because all throughout the lockdowns, they have been consistently creating quality content, which is like really fabulous and fun to see, keeping the community engaged and together, and always with such great messages and such gorgeous positivity. And that aside, she's also absolutely gorgeous in every way.
I think she's the sweetest bloody person in the whole entire world.
Yeah. And more recently, the reason I say right now is because she's started Crayola's drag school or something, which is really awesome, where she's offered like loads of places to people like trans, non-binary people, people of color for free, or subsidized, and she's encouraging people of all kinds to create drag of all kinds, and she's such a strong advocate for alternative drag and not just the RuPaul drag standards. And I just think that she's such a great voice of that on Twitter and Instagram and everything. I think she's a consistent Crayola the Queen on everything, which is CRAYOLATHEQUEEN on all of the platforms. I had to read it off the thing when I said it as well. Then I don't know why I can't just spell those words off the top of my head. But yeah, so follow Crayola, follow the fuck out of Crayola.
Yeah, do. Absolutely.
Great snacks.
They were good snacks.
Very.
It is lunchtime, so.
I'm hungry.
But also, you could follow us, We Three Queers. I mean, you probably already are, so that's absolutely fine. But please share us to everybody. Like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, because get as many people listening as possible. But also, I say this every week, if you want to date me, then you can slide into my DMs at Flick the Drag Queen on Instagram or TikTok, because I've got TikTok now, or Flick the Queen on Twitter, which I don't really use. But yeah, follow me and give me a little massage. Ooh.
And if you want to follow me, it's at Cyro Drag Thing, and my personal one is at Leah S. Kirby.
Ooh, you can follow me at Carrot Drag on everything, to be honest. If you want to follow my personal Instagram at Joshua_young_, you can. But
I've only recently
won't,
started.
won't achieve much. I do post on my personal one a lot more actually at the moment. I don't know why. Anyway,
I can't believe I didn't follow you until recently. That's just
Did you not?
your personal one. I didn't
Well,
know that we used a personal one.
it's fucking rude.
You bloody.
You know this. You didn't follow me either. So
Yeah, I don't think I did follow you on it.
Look at this! Look at this podcast, bringing queers together.
We never followed each other. Yeah. Anyway, listen, we're all on a journey.
Don't worry, there's no drama. There's no drama here. They do like each other, really. I'm honest. Help me. No. All right, bye, queers.
Bye, queers.
bye, quiz.
Done it.
We three queers of London are fabulous and feeling ourselves so far. Talking about all things queer and fitting with a theme. And that's enough of that, I'll stop singing now.